China has just imposed sanctions on 11 U.S. citizens, including lawmakers from President Donald Trump's Republican Party. The move comes in response to Washington's own decision to sanction both Hong Kong and Chinese officials who they accuse of curtailing political freedoms in Hong Kong. Well, joining us is former U.S. diplomat Craig Singleton to break down just what's going on here. So, Craig, which Americans is China targeting? Who are they, and what do they stand accused of?
Thanks, Natasha. So this newest round of sanctions is really designed to accelerate the foreign policy decoupling that we're seeing between the two countries. So in addition to targeting several very prominent members of Congress, including several very prominent Republican senators, we've also seen that the Chinese have gone and sanctioned very well-known U.S. human rights activists here in the United States associated with Human Rights Watch and Freedom House, all of whom have been looking to expose Chinese human rights abuses in Western China involving Uyghur Muslims.
Interesting. Now, what will these sanctions look like? What does this actually mean for these Americans?
It's by and large, these are mostly symbolic, and they're actually designed to distract from Hong Kong, where China is actually going about a huge security crackdown. Just today, they arrested a very prominent pro-democracy media mogul, delay in elections for 1 year. It also occurs at the same time that President Xi Jinping in China is attempting to galvanize domestic support in this very sensitive post-COVID-19 period, where Xi is attempting to appear strong on the world stage.
Now, this also comes as President Trump has just announced a ban on WeChat, the Chinese app. Obviously, he's also been targeting TikTok. Is there any proof to his claims about their involvement with the Chinese government?
So for a long time now, we've been hearing rumors about a possible ban on TikTok, as well as national security concerns about Chinese telecommunications companies like Huawei. And the reason is because there's some significant evidence to suggest that these platforms operate like digital Trojan horses, and they provide the Chinese government with the ability to extract data on users, both in the United States and in other countries. In response to a recent national security law inside of China, all Chinese companies are also required to hand over any data to the Chinese Communist Party, no questions asked.
All right, Craig, thank you so much for joining us. But my last question for you, if you just want to kind of quickly give us a response here, is how do you think this latest move, these latest sanctions, are going to impact relations between China and the United States? Are we going to see some kind of larger war take place here?
I don't think a war, but there's little reason to believe that tensions between the two countries are going to decrease between now and the election here in the United States, which is in less than 100 days. In fact, over the weekend, National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien came out publicly and said that the Chinese were attempting to interfere in U.S. election infrastructure. For his part, Joe Biden's also under pretty significant pressure to take a harder line on China. So with less than 100 days to go, all eyes are on Beijing to see if it's really going to moderate its behavior and kind of tone down its aggressive policies in response to pushback from the United States, the UK, Australia, India, among others.
All right. Craig, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure we'll see you soon on this topic.